I'm here on a Sunday, afternoon recording this in my plaid shirt. Hey everyone, Shawnee here. So thank you, welcome back. If you weren't here to see what I did last week, basically I just worked on some SEO and built my website, asked for some feedback on it, and went from there. So this video is kind of late. I usually record videos on like Wednesday, Thursday, but this is a Saturday. No, Sunday. It's Sunday today. Getting my days all mixed up. And yeah, so no glasses, just doing this thing. All right, so this week I kind of focus mostly on marketing. Basically, I'm experimenting with some different marketing strategies and trying to wrap my brain around it. So I am reading a couple of books. You can't read videos. I can't believe I just said that. So I am reading a couple of books. One is Guerrilla Marketing. So I barely scratched the surface of that book. I am still on the first chapter, so I plan on working on that. Another book that I read, and that I'm currently reading, and I've made it through definitely the second chapter, and then I jumped to the chapter where he covers how to market on YouTube, and then the one on Twitter as well. So I've been jumping in and out of that book, and that book is 1 million followers. Now, mind you, I'm not really seeking 1 million followers, but I thought the strategy of that and how to get the word out about your brand or about your product, he does have some solid examples. And one of the things that he definitely encouraged in that book is to experiment. So I'm taking this full-time marketing thing as experiments. This is all experiments. I'm not good at this stuff at all. So I'm just trying things, seeing if they work, and then try something else and see if that works better. And so that's what I've been doing. In this case, as far as marketing on social media, I did do an example, or I did a little bit of tweaking to how I post my YouTube videos on Twitter. Typically, I will just, put the link and say, hey, here's my video, and just do a little blurb and maybe a little bit of hashtags, and that's it. Okay, so in the book, he mentioned something about how certain tweets, or maybe it was Instagram, I can't remember, but he said to include a little snippet of the video. So I did that. So instead of just the way I was doing it, what I would do is when I would edit my videos for YouTube, I would pick a little snippet out that I thought would be, my main takeaway in that video. And literally, the little takeaway is no longer than a minute. So I put that in without no overlay or nothing. I just pulled out that video and just added it to my tweet. And the response was amazing. Basically, I pretty much doubled, maybe tripled the amount of viewers, and also the amount of people who actually engaged the video. So got better reach, so I decided, I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. And that's one thing that the author of 1 million followers suggests, is if you find something that works, then stick with it, and you can modify what you find. So I did that. And so I was like, oh, okay. So that was nice. It was a nice experiment. And so the next week after that, I decided to do the same thing, just take a little snippet out of the video that I made, but this time add a little, what I learned, cover image. So it wasn't completely just the video. So that's what I did, and it was pretty awesome. So pretty much the same thing. I think I got a little bit more a little bit more traffic or more views for that tweet because I also pinged the people or the resources I had used in that video. So that was actually really cool because the companies that I used to, when I explained how I built my website, like, including BB Edit, including Fathom, I actually put their actual Twitter handle in the tweet, and they responded and liked it. So that was like really cool. So hashtags obviously is something I'm going to continue doing, but then if I do comment on or I do use a resource and I find their Twitter handle, I think I will from now on add that. And not just for them to respond back to my tweet. I mean, it's nice they do, but mainly to, send traffic their way too. So, yeah. So that was pretty cool. So another thing that I was working on, again, is more content management. So in my last video, I talked about how I wrote a copy for my video. And I kind of did the same thing this time around, but this was actually for the people who actually signed up for the app. Now, I only have a handful of people who are interested right now, and this is just like the first couple weeks. And so I decided, you know what, I need to get my first email out to these early subscribers. And so I spent a lot of time on a website, copyhackers.com, which was really nice. They have a lot of resources that I definitely found very good. I had to tweak the one they had so they had a tutorial for creating an email copywriting, I guess is what you would call it, but basically it's a way to engage your subscribers. And so I kind of had to tweak it in my case because I'm trying to sell an application. I'm not blogging. I mean, I do vlog about, what I'm doing as far as like learning Swift or, business, obviously. But for, actually writing an email to my subscribers, I'm completely clueless other than thank you, So learning a little bit about that and then kind of tweaking it because it was meant for bloggers was a little tough. I didn't want to seem like too salesy either, but I kind of wanted to give something back to the people who did actually, sign up, while they're waiting to, see what my app is about. They could, do something in the meantime, So that's kind of where I kind of wrote it for, I guess. But then also to kind of give them a heads up that, hey, I'm going to be emailing you over the next couple months for testing and ideas and things like that. And that also, a lot of my subscribers, I want to say like majority of them actually signed up based off of a survey. So because I wanted to kind of explore the people who might be interested in it and what their background is, their pet peeves and stuff like that. And that was actually pretty eye-opening. All I did was I just modified a Google form and then just sent them the link, and then kind of did the design a little bit, but really it was more like multiple choice, fill in the blank if you want to kind of deal. So I got really good feedback on that, and so with that in mind, I think I might do it again, but maybe add more info or maybe a couple more questions, because I still have like a couple questions and I plan on reaching out to them eventually once I get the app in their hands. Oh, so I went on Indie Hacker, and I love going on Indie Hacker sometimes because they have the most amazing posts. So I went on there and I saw this post about this gentleman. I guess he was seeking he was a mentor. He signed up to be a mentor and he was looking for mentees, I guess. Don't know if that's a word. Maybe it is. What I did was I looked him up. I mean, right now I'm not in a place to actually do that right now, but I will keep him in mind because his website was actually quite good. It's thebootstrapfounder.com. So I went over to his website and found several really good articles. And one of the articles that I decided to do a little work on is what he calls the preparation stage. And so I'm like, okay, let me work through this. And basically it's about researching your market size, because that's one of the questions that I didn't answer on my loosey-goosey business plan, was I really didn't know what my market size kind of was. Like, I really didn't know. And so he provided some really good tips in order to find that market size. And he also reiterated that, it's always going to be a ballpark guess, because that's the way it is. But the clearer you are narrowing down your niche, the better. So I took his advice. I did a little bit of research, some digging in, and it was interesting in the sense that from the government statistical standpoint, because that's what I use some government statistics, that I was able to narrow down kind of how big my market size would be. And it actually kind of surprised me. And it surprised me so much that I knocked it down by 100K. Yeah, but it kind of gives me hope, and it's kind of nerve-wracking at the same time. But we'll see. So I do plan to continue reading and doing some of the stuff that he recommends. So back to the social media experiments. So with the YouTube channel, playing around with that marketing has been interesting. I've also have been kind of doing the same thing with indie hackers as well. And I believe from the book 1 Million Followers, the author suggested to choose kind of the direction of your tweets, or how you post to certain certain platforms. And so with indie hackers, my whole goal with that one is just I really just mainly post to the daily stand-up. For me, it's more like the weekly stand-up because I typically just post my video and I post everything I've done for the week. I could do every day, but there's some days where I don't really do anything because either there's, personal conflicts and I can't do something, one day. But if I post my weekly, then I feel like, okay, I've done quite a bit. It kind of keeps me accountable too. And one thing that I learned from that book is that to look at kind of how you write your content. And with indie hackers, I noticed that how I do the title actually affects how many people actually look at it. And so because I do this vlog, I actually post the vlog link and everything I've done for the week. And so if I put vlog in the title, more people respond to it than just saying, oh, my weekly update. So that's actually kind of interesting, mind you. And then Instagram, I'm thinking about reactivating my Instagram account. I don't know. It's been dead for so long. But I reached out to someone I know who's pretty he does most of his marketing on Instagram. Actually, all of his marketing on Instagram, I found out. And, I just called him up. I'm like, hey, what do you do for your marketing? And he's like, I just use Instagram. And I'm like, so how do you interact with your customers? And he's like, very, personable, have one-on-one conversations and things like that. So he really focuses on each and every customer who pings him or posts his product on Instagram. and that's how he really is community focused. And I thought that was really interesting, and that's kind of how I wanted to go about this, is make it more grassroots, community focused kind of thing. I still have a lot to figure out in regards to it, but I am going to definitely keep that in the forefront. And I mean, I don't know if I'm going to use Instagram for this, but if I do, then it's something that I can keep in mind. So that was actually quite interesting. So another thing that I came across from reviewing a couple of articles / tutorials from copy hackers is to create like an editorial calendar. Now, in my case, it's probably not going to be an editorial calendar, but I am going to try to do something really similar, which I kind of do for my YouTube videos. I do have a way of keeping track of what content I'm going to actually cover, like my topics. And then from there, I make sure that I record every week. Now, like I said, typically I record it towards the middle of the week. I didn't this week because I just got bombarded with things. So I'm here on a Sunday, afternoon recording this in my plaid shirt. So this one thing is I do try to record a video every week. Now I have to do something really similar with my app and create content around that. Now I'm still working it out. I'm brainstorming some topics, things like that. But I have found quite a few really great resources that I do plan on using. And I'll go ahead and share them with you because I think this particular website is pretty awesome. Especially if you're looking for like SEO keyword phrases, or you actually have a blog, or you're trying to, create content for something. I think this is a really great way to get the creative juices flowing, and it's answerthepublic.com. It's pretty awesome. So I recommend you check that out if you're interested. I've actually used it to create some of my SEO keyword phrases, and also I'm kind of tinkering with it in order to help me create more content for this channel. So check that out if you want to. All right, so that's what I've been doing other than coding, which is what I've been doing for most of this week. So this video is probably going to be really, really short because literally all I've been doing is coding on my app and then reading and then tinkering a little bit here and there. So next week we'll see what happens. But thank you again for watching my video. Like, share, subscribe. You know the deal. Okay, till next time, friends.